Let's go into the FOSS section, free and open source news, to more exciting news, which is that Proton and Standard Notes are joining forces. So Standard Notes will remain open source, freely available, and fully supported. Prices are not changing, and if you have a current subscription to Standard Notes, it will continue to be honored. In the coming months, they will find ways to make Standard Notes more easily accessible to the Proton community. This way, in addition to protecting your email, calendar, files, passwords, and online activity, you can also protect your notes. Interesting. I think it's cool. I think it's too early to tell how cool this is going to be, if it's going to suck. We don't know yet. I feel like Proton stuff, 50-50. In coming months, it could be awesome. I think Proton nailed it with Proton Pass. I think they nailed it with just rolling out new features, and Proton Pass is looking super solid so far. But I think that's mostly because it's Simple Login's team that's developing Proton Pass and not Proton. So I don't know how Standard Notes is developing. It looks like Standard Notes is still developing its own thing. And if that's what's happening, then I'm pretty optimistic about like how much they can do in a short amount of time.
That's actually what I was going to say is the Proton acquisition of Simple Login, I feel like has been really well executed. I haven't heard any complaints about the integration with Proton. So assuming all of that is accurate, I think if they follow a similar model with Standard Notes, I think it's going to be overall a net win for everybody. People who just want to use Standard Notes will be able to do so. People who want an integration will have that. The only concern I have, I'm not a fan of putting all your eggs in one basket. Proton is acquiring all these different companies. They're kind of centralizing, and I definitely see the concern there with that. So, and I do think that is a valid concern. This could be a good time to think about that. Like, I haven't used Standard Notes in years, to be totally honest. Can you export notes? Are there any other options out there? God forbid something goes wrong. So overall, I think this is good news, but I do think there are some legitimate questions worth asking.
Yeah, I think what I'm interested in is, I think what's different about the Simple Login acquisition is that Proton took over their infrastructure, if I'm not mistaken. It's now Simple Login by Proton, and I'm pretty sure Proton runs the infrastructure now. I don't know what's going on with Standard Notes. I don't know if this is just an acquisition, so it's just, we're giving you guys money, we're investing in your company, we're taking over the company, but you guys still do your own thing. I didn't see those details covered, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it was an extremely vague post. I do like Proton, for the record, but I also have a fair number of criticisms with Proton, and 90% of them revolve around their public-facing side. So like their blog posts, their social media responses, things like that. And I think this is a really good example where I think they hit the bare minimum, but I think they also could have said a lot more.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. Here's another clip for you, and if you want to really dive into tech news, check out our main channel, Surveillance Report, for all your privacy and security news in a convenient video and audio podcast once a week. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.